Good morning. How are you, Ram?
Good morning, Santhi. I'm doing great. Thank you. How about you?
Very good, Ram. Thank you. So today I came up with nice topic. So many job seekers in Canada are in dilemma, like whether I can opt for full time or contract jobs. So could you please elaborate on this topic, please?
Yeah, sure. It's actually a very good question, Shanti. In fact, many people also, contact me asking, sir, should I go for a full-time job or a contract job? Okay. So I'll explain the dynamics involved and the technicalities in this topic. In one of our videos, we have discussed about, T4, T4A, different job structures. Okay. So the two primary job structures are part-time or full-time. Now, the question is, which one is better? Which one to go for? Okay. Now, what I would suggest anybody is, whatever it comes, take it. Whether it is a full-time job or a contract job, you have to take it. So let's see what are the pros and cons of each. Okay. Number one, in a full-time job, you will have you will join the company, but then you will be in the company for till the time you retire, if it is a full-time permanent job. In a contract job, it is always a time bomb. So that is the negative aspect of it. So if you are starting now, they might give contract only for 6 months or for 1 year. And another comparison is the pay in the full-time job is relatively lesser, whereas the pay in a contract job is relatively more compared to a full-time job. So the pay in a contract job is very high compared to the full-time job. And also, in a full-time job, if your salary is 100K, you will not get 100K to your hand. A lot of taxes will be deducted. Maybe you will get about 80K or 70K onto your hand. Whereas in a contract job, if your pay, hourly pay and the total amount is 100K, you will get 100K plus 13% HST. Right? 13% is in Ontario, but whatever province that you are living in, you can calculate the HST. So you'll get more there. But in full-time job, you are already paying the taxes. So when you file the taxes, you will get something in refund. In a contract job, what happens is the burden of filing the taxes, showing all the accountancy of the corporation is on you. So you will end up spending money to do the bookkeeping, to do audits, to do, file the tax returns, pay HST, and also pay corporation tax. And then whatever is remaining, you will have it on your pocket. But one thing about contracting is, for whatever you are earning, if you are able to show all the expenses, then you will not pay any tax. You will only pay HST. HST is anyway being given by the company, so you'll directly deposit. But whatever 100K that you are making, for example, you can try to get the whole 100K to your pocket if you are able to show the entire 100K is done with a legitimate spending for the corporation.
So
You can
can
your
you give
phone
me
bill.
an example how to? Can you give me an example or a tip? So how to save that 100K? I mean,
I
without
mean,
tax.
you can show your expenses, like yeah, if you purchase a phone or a laptop. If you are working from home, then you can show the rent, part of that rent as your expense. If you are driving a car, you can pay the car payment using the corporation account. So you can save some money. And whatever you spend to do this job, you can, claim it as an expense for this corporation. So many a time people go for contracts only for this purpose because they can save a lot of taxes. But when it comes to full-time job, there are a lot of benefits that company gives. They give, holiday pay, right? They give at least 2 to 4 weeks of holiday pay, and they get, benefits like um, dental and eyes, vision, and physiotherapy services. And some companies give RRSP matching, some companies give bonus, some companies give SOPs, tax, stock options. But in contract, there is no such benefits. You'll get to whatever number of hours you work, those are the hours that will be paid. So they don't pay for your holidays even if you work, right? So there are a lot of, see, this benefits portion is the weakest part in the contract. But when you're getting higher pay, you can get all these benefits from the pay itself.
Yes, correct.
Okay. But what people don't understand is if you calculate all these taxes that get benefits by government, benefits by the company, and you sum up all these things, whatever you get are equal to whatever you get in the corporation. Because in the corporation, you'll get the whole money plus HST. You'll deposit that HST. You can also save that HST, and you can claim the expenses. But then, if you have to buy the same benefits, and you have to incur the expense of the auditor, for tax filing costs, bookkeeping costs, the effort. So if you consider all these things, my personal opinion is they all come to the same level. Slightly might 5 to 10,000 more you can get using a contract. Okay.
So, yeah. Can I get the same support or the resources from the company if when I am in the contract or full time?
Yeah, if it's a contract or a full time, when you go into the company, whether it is a full time or a contracted, you are treated the same way. But full-time employees will have more access in the company than contract employees, because full-time employees, they're aware that you're going to live for be in the company for longer period. Whereas the contractors, since they are for a only limited period for a limited project, so their access levels will be relatively less. But respect-wise, both will be respected alike. People think that contractors are not respected as equal to full-time, but that is wrong. I have done many contracts. I have also done many full-time jobs. But the treatment I got, both as a full-time employee and both as a contract employee, it is the same. So cost-wise, contract employee gets more pay. Respect-wise, it is equal. People think that one misconception people have is if it is a full-time job, they have the job for the lifetime. If it is a contract job, they have to, they will be working only for one, 1 year or 6 months. But in reality, in Canada, especially in the Western society, whether it is a contract or a full time, if the company wants to terminate you, they can terminate you at any point of time. The only difference is if you are a contractor, they may or may not be able to give you enough notice. But in a time, so in when it comes to the full time, they can terminate you immediately, but they will still pay you the 2 weeks of notice period, which whatever notice period they mention, they will pay you. And sometimes if you are terminated after working for certain years, then they will also pay you some severance pay. Okay, but there is no job security whether it is a full time or a contract. If it is a full time, doesn't mean you are secured for the job for the rest of your life. No, they can terminate you at any point of the time.
Oh, there is no job security. Okay.
Yeah. So which is why when you are applying for the jobs, don't confine only to one type of jobs. Apply for full time, apply for contract, apply for remote, apply for hybrid, apply for on-site, apply for all types of jobs.
Okay. But Ram, see, I have heard that, see, during the restaurant time or so if the company fires us when we are in full time, so we may get some benefits, right? So could you please elaborate?
Yeah, in a full-time job, if you lose the job, then you get what is called as a EI, employment insurance.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so in a full-time job, the employer and the employee both contribute to employment insurance. Okay, so that you will get if you lose the job, but you get that for limited period of time. That is how I came up with the calculation. If you calculate all the side gains that you get in a full-time job and the pay that you get in a contract job, they both boil down to the same value. That is why my personal opinion is you accept whether it is a full-time or a contract job. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you need to get a job, you need to get paid, you need to gain experience, you need to get a better job next time.
So yeah. How about working hours, Ram? So do I need to stretch more when I am into contract job?
No. In Canada, this is one of the nicest thing, whether you're a full-time employee or a contract employee, people respect your personal time. So after 4, then they don't, whether you're a contractor or a full-time, they don't, bug you, asking you to work Many cases. I mean, there are some here and there people work slog a lot, but it all depends on the project requirements and the company culture and the project manager they are working under. But otherwise, whether you're a contractor or a full timer, the number of working hours are going to be the same, either 7 hours a day or 7.5 hours or 8 hours. They are not good. But a contractor doesn't mean you're expected to work more, because if you work more, since they pay in hourly, they have to pay more. So that's why uh, you know um, it's equal.
Okay. So notice period. In case of notice period, what about contract and full time?
Notice period, as far as I know, it is still the same. I mean, in Canada, anything and for any role, any job, the notice period is standard 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay, whether it is a full-time job or a contract job, in many of the cases, the notice period is always for 2 weeks, both from the candidate side and also from the employer side.
Mhm. Okay. So during the background verification, also there is no. So even if you are full time or contract, they do the same.
That is good question. Yeah, for contractors, I have observed that the background check is little lightweight, but for full timers, the background check is very heavy. That's what I observed. I might be wrong as well, but it all depends on the company. If the company has the same policy to do the background check for each and every person alike, then they do it. But my personal observation is, since it is a contract job, they don't be very specific. Oh, he's coming for us doing a short project, let him come immediately and let him do the job. But if in some companies, especially banks and insurance companies, they're very particular about personal data, the culture of the company, and the ethics of the candidates. They do criminal check, every check they do for both contractors or full timers.
Okay. So suppose if I am in contract role, so am I eligible for giving the reference, internal references will give, right? For jobs.
Yeah, you can. You can.
Give, right?
At the end of the day, your only job structure is different.
Different.
You're
Okay.
still doing job in the company, you still have everything, so you can give reference, not a problem.
Not a problem. Okay. Thank you, Ram. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying my doubts.
Yeah, thank you very much. And once again, I wanted to reiterate, this is a recession period. Don't be very specific that you're looking only for contract jobs or a full-time jobs. Okay, both will be the same. Okay, in terms of working. The only minus point I would say is, if it is a full-time job, till the time you lose the job, at least you know that this is the job you are working. But in a contract job, you need to search for job every time the contract comes to an end. But that also has some positives. What are the positives?
Contract extend.
No, the positives are, since you'll be working for multiple contracts, right? 1 year this company, another year another company, 6 months another company. You get to work with several companies. You get to know their work culture. You get to know different tools. You get to work on different projects. So that will increase your knowledge multiple fold when it comes to the full time. Because if it's full time, it's always the same environment, same project, same work culture. So the chances of learning and a growth in a full time job is relatively less compared to a contract job.
But Ramsey, I have one question. If I do more contracts, my resume will be having more number of experience. I mean, my resume will be having more
That's all
experience.
right, because in Canada, people understand if it is contract and it is always for a limited. So loyalty doesn't come into picture.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah. So as far as I know, not any of my friends, even if they do multiple contracts with a short period of time, like 6 months or 1 year or sometimes even 4 months, I haven't seen anybody objecting and questioning the loyalty. Because what can anybody do if it is just a 4 months project? It is 4 months project. Even if you want to be loyal to the company, they're not going to put you in. After 4 months, they will kick you out, right? So all recruiters and companies are aware. As long as you're able to explain your job structure, what project you have done, and convince that you are technically strong, all these are not going to be any blockers.
Okay. Thank you, Ram. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you so much, Shanti. We'll come back with another topic tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. Ram.
Bye.